Hey everyone, can you guys hear my voice? Oh, oh no. Can you hear me, Asif? Can you hear me? Okay, okay. Is it loud and clear? आ रही है आवाज? Hello, hello. Hey Moz, can you hear us? Okay, yeah, okay, there is a little bit of a lag. There's like a minute lag, so all good. Welcome, everyone. Happy Friday. This is Syme, your crypto CPA from the Lone Star State here at Akif CPA and also at our sister company, Chainblock Financial. This is our very first proper live session, and we're going to be going live every week for about an hour. We'll be taking live questions, and I'll get into why we're doing this, why we're basically giving back to the community. And it all starts with, we came to America as immigrants. My father in our family gave the ultimate sacrifice. And again, this is an absolutely amazing country. This is the country that you want to live in, and this is our home. And what better way to give back to our home is by giving free advice. And we already do a lot of pro bono work. My brother Muhammad Akif is the one that started this company, and he does a lot of pro bono tax returns for seniors, charity, and he's an expert at cross-border taxation. He's a former Big Four, just like myself. And this is our state of affairs where we, as a company that has been established for the last 20 years, we decided that no, now it's time that we give back to the masses. Whether you're watching from California, Montana, or whether you're abroad, you're in Hong Kong, or you're an expat living in the UK or anywhere in the world, we want to be able to give back. And sure, it is possible that our focus is all USA based, and it's entirely possible that wherever you're located, maybe you're not a US resident, and so some of the tax rules will not apply to you. So you need to be careful. So, but we wanna. This is coming from a very deep place, and what I'm gonna do is every week I'm gonna take a topic, and I'm gonna deep dive into that topic, and I'm gonna give you the actual solutions. Okay, where does this go into your 1040? What happens? What's the tax strategy behind this, if there's one, and what are the risks associated with it, and what to watch out for. And again, crypto is such an amazing, revolutionary technology, blockchain itself, that now so many things are getting predicated on it. Now we're seeing a plethora of tools that are associated with blockchain. We're seeing deep in projects, decentralized infrastructure projects, such as you buying a small little router and placing that router in your building or in your house somewhere, and then you're getting rewards. So now crypto is mainstream, along with the passage of the Genius Act. We're going to see stable coins come into play. Before we had the banks, where it took us a long time, or even took us what, $30 to do $40 to do a wire transfer across the world, and it could sometimes take days. Now with the stable coins, you can send that like right away. So the middleman is going to be out, but again, blockchain is a revolutionary technology. It is a technology that is for the people, by the people. So sure, there are going to be elements of it that are going to be the wild, wild west, such as your beam coins. So you want to stay away from those, or if you have a hunch for them, do your research because I'll be honest, there is no the fun in fundamentals is not there when it comes to meme coins. There's no fundamentals. So, but again, some of the traditional original crypto, such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, now those are much more mature hedge funds, and they're some of them even are using them to hedge inflation, right? But you have hedge funds, mutual funds, you have actual wealth advisors now that are being asked to carry these in people's portfolios, whether they're rebalancing them or whatever the case. But again, it's giving people massive returns. And now this is here to stay. I know, again, I'm sorry if you can hear my daughter. She's here today, and let her have a little bit of audio track into this. But again, crypto is here to stay. Whether you want to get into this maybe a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now states are taking crypto in a completely different light. For example, in Texas, we have the passage of the Texas Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, which was pre what the White House passed back in February. So we were already in line. And again, Texas has never been at the forefront of any kind of revolutionary technology. And now we're seeing that. I mean, we're beating Colorado, we're beating so many other states. And now you're going to be able to pay taxes with some of your crypto. And again, all this is going to come into mainstream, and then every state is going to apply these, right? But again, we've had other states that have led this. They've taken a charge, and we've taken bits and pieces. But again, this is here to stay. Bitcoin itself, or blockchain, the art of. So what is blockchain? Blockchain is basically, it's taking bits and pieces of a big structure, and then when you spread that around, for example, let's say that you have a router in your house, right? The router is where you're getting the internet or a modem, and then from there it's being disseminated to everyone in the house. That is a central body, that router, that modem. What you can do now is take four different laptops, four different individuals, and make that into a same router. So what you have done is essentially you've taken that centralization and then you've decentralized it. You've spread that across many individuals or many folks, and now you have a network that is plugged away from the main system, but it works. So for blockchain to work, it has to have a transparent ledger, meaning that everything that is recorded once on the ledger, it can never be changed. Sure, you can have a subsequent or a new event that can offset the effects of it, but whatever is done, it's done. It's set in stone. So this is how we were able to really revolutionize this technology, and we never thought we would actually plug away from the main system. Me being a CPA, a CFA, and also an anti-money laundering specialist, and an author, I never thought we would have something this revolutionary that the central bank will not have oversight, and you could use a instrument that could be used as a legal tender of currency in other countries. For example, the first one that did it was El Salvador. They said, "Hey, we're going to use this as our currency." But again, their infrastructure was never there. But the U.S., when we first started looking into crypto, this was back in 2014. The very first IRS notice that came out, I believe, was 2014-21. If you look at it, and it'll tell you that there are our thinking of this was that this will never be a legal tender. Then subsequently, yes, we've changed it and we've taken that out. There is a dominion and control when it comes to Bitcoin. When I say dominion and control, it's a legal terminology that as long as you have it in your wallet, it's yours. If it's not in your wallet, it's not yours. So it is a little bit technical, but again, now it's easy to buy a Bitcoin and buy a crypto. So now coming back to just the summary of what what this weekly podcast or a live streaming session is going to be about. It's about giving back, and let's not kid ourselves. Along the way, sure, I'll get many clients. So sure, I will benefit from it, but this is truly something that I want to give back. So if you have questions, I would really love it that you post them in the comments, or you can email us at info@akifcpa.com, and send us the questions, and then I'll go through all those in the next live session. But each week, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go through all the news that is coming out. How does it impact you if you are a crypto investor and you're stuck in this web of transactional mess? How to get you out of it, how to simplify your crypto investments so you can really make money from it, and you can really flourish in 2025 and beyond. And again, we have some really interesting loopholes that have not been closed by the IRS, such as tax loss harvesting. And so I would really, and I'm going to show you how to take advantage of that as much as possible. So let's use all of this. And again, I want to give my very thanks to my mom and dad, who've always been there for me. My brothers, they have just been very instrumental in my growth. They are the ones that have shown me the way. And again, my father as well. He is the one who was the public speaker of the house, and slowly he's been able to teach me a little bit. Again, as we do more of these sessions, you'll see much more refined time me into this. So hang tight. So let's get into this. And what I want to do is today, I'm going to keep this short. This is our first one. And let me just tell you, I've gone through extensive where I've even done like, I'll show you. I've I've got like laminates of 1099 like DA forms and all kinds of and again, we'll get into that later. I'll share my screen as well. I'll show you. I don't know if y'all can see this. And there are these traps that are going to be happening. Why? Because since crypto is so revolutionary, right? You can have an I'll show you. Let's dive into how you can buy your first Bitcoin, right? And how can you then plug away from that main system? Because whenever you buy that first Bitcoin or Ethereum or any kind of crypto, whether you're using $500 or $100, you're buying a fraction or you're buying whatever, you're going to be going into a centralized exchange. If you are a USA resident and you're not using VPN of any kind, uh, all these outside exchanges that are not plugged into the system, into the US's tax system, they're gonna tell you on the website that since your IP address is showing up as USA, we're not gonna let you make an account. We're not gonna let you log in. But again, this is not something scary. So what you need to do is just first, first of all, acquire your crypto from a centralized exchange. What is a centralized exchange? It's where you can use your bank account, your credit card to purchase, and that centralized exchange will charge your bank account or credit card, and then will give you that crypto, whether it's through an ACH, a wire transfer, or simple just putting in your credit card details. One of the top centralized exchange in the US is Coinbase, and let me show you. Where is our Coinbase? Um, nope, it's this one, not this one, not this one. Well, let me change my window capture to Coinbase. Here it is, Coinbase.com. Simple. Sign up an account. Um, they'll ask you for KYC. KYC is know your client. This is part of the anti-money laundering rules. And again, crypto is so revolutionary. And again, look at this. If you see at the bottom, their sample fill-in email address says satoshi@nakamoto.com. So there's a pseudonym that was used, Satoshi Nakamoto, and there was a white paper that was written back in 2008 that talked about how you can set up this blockchain technology, the very first network. Obviously, in order for you to establish a network, it can't be just one person, right? It has to be at a minimum two individuals, and then using some fancy coding. And again, I'm not a coder, but having a formula that adds the previous answer to a formula that makes the formula more complicated. Every iteration, meaning every time you solve a formula, you take the prior answer into account and the new formula into account. That means that each answer you will get is a unique answer. And that is where that blockchain technology is predicated on, the whole foundation of it. So that's how we were able to test the very first initial Bitcoin back in 2008. And I remember I used to be at Ernst& Young, and there were some folks there that were buying back in 2009, 2010, and 11. I still remember the conversations, and back then it was like, I don't know, you for $10 you could purchase like 40 or 50 Bitcoin. I don't know. It was just very, very cheap. I remember pizza would cost like 26 Bitcoins or I don't know how many, but it was so cheap. But again, no one believed in it, right? It was brand new. And then came the dark web, the Silk Road, and that's where the Bitcoin technology was tested, and it worked. Back then, there were the wallets where you had to download a software, small little tool. You had a key, a public key, and a private key. And again, this was and some of my friends hopefully are onto this channel as well today, and they know what I'm talking about. And this was so interesting back then. And again, and as 2011, 2012 rolled around, and it just started picking up, but still people never believed in it. Everyone said this was a scam. This is a scam. This is not here to stay. You remember back 2016 when Trump first took office, he said Bitcoin is the biggest scam that there ever is, and now he's a billionaire. But again, thank you, Trump, for making crypto mainstream with the passage of the Genius Act. But again, uh, let's not let's not get cynical here. Let's just see the positive in all of this, how you can make money, how you can invest this, because this is something that if you can teach your kids and they can get a head start, now you have AI mining into all of this, where you're using the blockchain infrastructure and you're doing AI mining and that's feeding into the large language models. Again, I'm deviating from the topic, so let's get into how you can purchase your very first Bitcoin here. And again, go to coinbase.com, sign up. There's Coinbase. Coinbase is your very easy, traditional. It's like your iPhone of crypto, right? Coinbase Pro would be like your Android, where you have the charts and stuff, and you're getting all technical. But if you just want to buy something without looking at charts and getting all technical, Coinbase is good. But once you're into Coinbase Pro, you can set limits. You can do I don't know if they have margin trading yet. And again, there's margin trading for those who have done futures trading before or who have done any kind of fidelity trading or brokerage trading. You can do all that in crypto with just a fraction of a cost. And so Coinbase is an amazing place. But once you get into Coinbase, you'll have many wallets, but it will not show you what those wallet IDs are until you send it outside of Coinbase or you're receiving it from outside of Coinbase. And I'll show you. And that's called a hot wallet. So Coinbase itself, they have their own pools. They're technically not connected to the blockchain. Sure, the prices are very similar, but they have their own pools. And that's why Coinbase has its own token, I believe the CRO. And if you use that token, your trading fees are super low. So all these exchanges, Binance, Kraken, Gemini, again, Binance.us. If you just go to Binance Watch, it will say that our IP address is not associated. And yeah, if you were to go and sign up, let's see. Oh, look, it already rerouted me to Binance.us. But Binance.com, for example, if I go to KuCoin.com, and and these are exchanges that are outside of the US. Why I'm showing you these first? Because you're not going to be able to create an account. Let's see, based on your IP address, we currently do not provide services in your country or region due to local laws or policies. So this is the mighty arm of the Department of Justice, the DOJ here in the US, that can enforce so many things. And then all these outside exchanges, these are the decentralized exchanges that we call them. The decentralized exchanges, now they don't even want to touch the US residents. Why? Because they know that arm, when it comes to them, it's going to force them not just to pay billions in fines, it's going to force them to turn over all the records, and they don't want to have anything to do with it. Unless they bring and they register into the US, then you can use. And again, I've used when I was abroad, I've used KuCoin, or I know people who have used KuCoin. Um, let's see. And this is a long time ago, by the way. I've done a lot of this myself. This is something that why am I able to teach you all this? Is because I've done this myself. I've been in the weeds. I do DeFi. I'm in liquidity pools. Let's go to Kraken. Kraken.com. Kraken is also an amazing one. Uh, so you can buy your very first Bitcoin from Kraken too. Just open their app. Just again plug in your account. It's gonna ask you to maybe log into your Bank of America or you can use one of your debit cards. And a lot of times these centralized exchanges, they're doing promotions. So make sure that you are taking advantage of some of these promotions. Let's go to now Gemini. Gemini is also a great one. Gemini is great. And again, you can use any of these, but Coinbase is the leader in the US. But I'll tell you, their fees are enormous. So once you get into Coinbase, you purchase your crypto, and if you want to free yourself, and that's what I want to do, is look, very first thing I want to do is in our first session is to show you how you can plug away from Coinbase and then go into the DeFi land. But in order for you to plug away from Coinbase, you need to get a hot wallet that you control. and make sure you you remember the seed. There are keywords, like 12 keywords. So for example, I'm on Chrome. So if I go to Chrome Web Store, all I gotta do is go to search for MetaMask, and voila. This I've already installed it on mine. You install this, it's just a simple Chrome extension. It's absolutely free. And from there, once you download this, it will give you 12 keywords for you to remember. Write them down, because in crypto, this is the issue. Because we're plugged away from the main system, or you can plug away easily. If someone steals your wallet and they send something out, there is no recovery. There's absolutely no recovery. I've been fortunate enough that there are two Class A action lawsuits that are happening here in the Houston area regarding crypto fraud victims, and I was able to go with their attorneys, and they wanted to ask me how all this works, and this was a very troubling thing, that it was so hard to basically claw back money. For example, if you have a fraud that happens in your bank, you're able to call them and say, hey, you know what, this happened to me, and blah blah, and this and that. Sure, it might take you a few days, but you'll get the money back. But in crypto, that's not the case, and there's no FDIC protection in crypto. So it'll free you up. It will give you the freedom, but again, that freedom comes with risk too. So keep that in mind. So this is a wallet. This is a hot wallet. So when you go to Coinbase, once you sign up, once you buy the first crypto, I mean, they have plethora of tokens. And again, I don't want to get into which token is the best for you. I want you to do your own research. But look at some of these tokens that have a utility. When I say a utility, they have a fundamental, that they're associated with GPU mining. They're associated with data for airplanes. For example, the Wingets project. Is it Wingbits? Yeah, it's Wingbits. Look into it, Wingbits project, where they're collecting. You can get a router just like the helium mining, and then they have a token like Winks. So you can buy that token. You can buy Tau. You can go to, there's plenty of things. But again, if you want to just stick with the traditional crypto, that is going to be Bitcoin. Again, that's a supply and demand thing too. Why? Because there can only be 11 million Bitcoins and no more. So that one is one that's a legacy coin, and that's here to stay. So if you are somebody who's a hodler, and that's a term that's used in the crypto world, holding onto for dear life, meaning that you're just a long-term investor, you might want to get something that is that's a legacy token that people have a true attachment to, and they just because it's the first, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, you have Solana, there's Phantom, there's Avalanche, you just name it. I mean, there's plenty, and people have nodes, DAG nodes. And again, once you get into the blockchain, you can become a miner. You can. What is a miner? Miner is somebody who's mining tokens, but now there are miners that are also node operators, meaning that they're just watching. So we have gone from, again, a technical term, proof of work, now to proof of stake, because proof of work in Bitcoin, it uses a lot of energy. So then the consumption of energy and the impact on society, that's playing a negative role. You have to see all that. And here in Texas, we have had the opportunity where so many thousands of miners from China and elsewhere, they migrated to West Texas and Mid Texas because the energy was so cheap. And now they're mining so much that in our winter freeze, ERCOT, which is the body that regulates energy, gives them millions of dollars in credits, just so that they don't turn on their mining machines. Now, this is the state of crypto affairs in the USA. There's new regulation that's coming to make taxation easy too. So now, going back to how to acquire your first Bitcoin, go to a Coinbase, and then from there, you want to get plugged away from the main system, go and get a simple MetaMask wallet. You can get a Kepler wallet. There's other wallets, sure, and you can probably see here. Look, Phantom is a wallet. Um, Sui Wallet, Kepler, Ronin, Venom. Again, Petra is one. Again, this is just This is a list, and it's just going to be ongoing. But again, MetaMask is one that is something that I've also used in the past. You can connect different blockchains to it, and once you transfer your crypto, and you'll see the settings, send, withdraw, withdraw your crypto to an outside. You'll get an address here, and this address is also associated directly to the blockchain. And if you want to see, for example, well, how can someone else see what I'm trading? Well, that's easy. Etherscan.io. So each blockchain has its ledger, a distributed ledger that is transparent, that is shown to the public, and this is how blockchain works. Because if you don't have any transparency, then someone can say, "Well, I sent this," or there will be so many disputes. Now with the smart contracts, with all of this that's going on, and there's also an evolution, and then I'll get into the actual evolution. And again, I have so much content because I've been doing this for many years, and I'm in the weeds. And we've been fortunate enough to service over 2,000 clients in the last 4 years. And again, from folks who have established their own metaverse to your regular folks, like for example, my mom and dad that just have a Coinbase account, to those that do liquidity pools, that do NFTs, that not only mint NFTs, that also receive royalties on NFTs, that folks that run new projects on Discord, folks folks that have established their own exchanges, NFT exchanges. We have seen just lots of clients throughout this entire spectrum, and I'm sure there are a few of those that we have not serviced, and I'm looking forward to those because we love blockchain taxes. This is to us, this is a big puzzle. But once you get into this, this is so much fun. I'll be honest. There's a scary element around this, and I know CPAs hate this because a lot of times you can't tie things down to the exact dollar. Why? Because there's a price differential. What Coinbase is showing versus what the actual blockchain is showing. If you move a large amount of quantity, you'll see that it's off by like $60. If you're moving a chunk of this, it's off by like 100 or 200. And for us CPAs in the USA, we like to tie things down to the exact cent, if not the dollar within the dollar, but that doesn't happen a lot. So then we have to have humility to understand what this is all about because we have clients, so we can't just shun this away. We have to accommodate, we have to understand. And again, now IRS is catching up with this. Now there's IRS is catching up on enforcement. They use AI tools like Chainalysis, and they're monitoring the whole web, and they know. So that's why they've been able to send in the last few months. They've been able to send more than 50,000 6371s and 6374 letters letting US taxpayers know that, hey, we have information on you. And sure, on one of the letters, they're stating that you don't need to respond. But no, you never want to be in the eyes of the IRS. Once they flag you, that flag stays there. And now they use AI, they use data analytics, and they're just waiting. And because they don't like to go after one small thing, and they like to just, they know that once this is happening, then that is happening, and this is happening. And voila, once they open that, one small little, black hole, and everything just opens up. And next thing you know, you've seen where folks, there was a case just recently where somebody was imprisoned for 2 years, I believe, here in Texas, in Austin. And the data came from 2017. Imagine 2017, 2018 data that they were able to parse together. And there's a lot of tax evasion going on. So let's talk about, so this is the way. This is if you want to just easily buy crypto. Now, I believe Cash App is doing it too. You'll see PayPal, you can buy crypto. But once you get into these, again, Cash App is not crypto centric. You want to go to a place that is all crypto. So then you can also see a wide variety of things. But remember, once you purchase your very first crypto, you have the ability to then take that crypto to a hot wallet of yours, of your choice. MetaMask is one of them. It's a simple Chrome extension with just 12 keywords. Once you memorize them and make sure you save it into in a safe place, I prefer like a hard copy. I'll write that on a piece of paper, and then I'll store it in it somewhere. And again, I'll have a way to call that back too. So once you store it, basically imagine that my whole computer is destroyed. If I have all my assets on MetaMask, I can go to Malaysia, Thailand, buy a brand new laptop, install this MetaMask extension, put in my 12 secret keywords, and voila, my millions are there. I mean, I don't have millions. I'm just saying your millions are there. So this is something that really truly gives you freedom. But again, there are taxes associated with it too. And the taxes are not like where they're simple. As long as you're making money, you should be focused on making money. Focused on where your investments lie. Focus on that swing that you're trying to catch, whether it's with meme coins too. But I mean, I would stay away from meme coins unless you have a hunch for them. You know them well, you can get into it, and timing is the key. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a solution of how you can go and obtain your very first crypto, whether it's through Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini, using a centralized exchange that is part of the U.S. tax system, and then you can use a wallet that is a hot wallet, and bring that crypto over to the hot wallet, and then you can go into so many areas where, for example, if I go to Uniswap, I can swap tokens that are not available on Coinbase. Hold on, where is Uniswap? Sorry, uh, Uniswap. There it is. Check this out. You go there, and this is plugged into the Ethereum network. And there's Trader Joe's for Avalanche. There's different ones. And here you have different pools, and you can get so many other tokens. You can actually list your own token. For example, I can say token Keef CPA, Akif CPA, and or token Sime crypto CPA from Lone Star State or something like that. And I can have an abbreviation, and I can mint the token. And there's so easy to mint tokens. And then I can come to Uniswap. I can give them, let's say, if I give them 100,000 tokens and I give them $200,000 worth of Ethereum, all those 100,000 tokens will then be divided into the $200,000 worth of Ethereum as the liquidity, a proper liquidity, and then that could be traded on Uniswap. But again, you need to know the tokenomics too, because these are what the rug pulls are, where people list their own tokens. This is where this gets so interesting. And now, what I want to do is I'm going to switch back. Now with the evolution of tokenized securities, basically with ERC 1400, now stocks, your traditional different equities, they are going to be tokenized when you can buy a fraction of them on the blockchain. And then with these different types of new smart contracts, it will have your identity embedded into it. So then you can vet and anyone can verify that yes, you do own that piece of Tesla that is listed on the blockchain, but that's directly tied to the actual Tesla token. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna end our segment. I'd like to ask you guys to like, subscribe. You can have a front row seat each week. Ask us complicated questions. I'm gonna get into I'm gonna get into like the actual details of what the solutions are. One second. Am I still I'm good, right? Yeah, no, I think I'm good. I'm sorry. So yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, I know today's segment I did talk about well, how to buy your first crypto, NFT taxes. I'm gonna get into that too. Staking, liquidity pools. Again, all these are terms that are like coined up by people like us, and because this is a blockchain, so we got a little technical with it. We went a little fancy with it. But again, it just means like lending your crypto, lending your money. Nothing. So you don't need to. This doesn't need to scare you, but it sounds cool, right? Doesn't liquidity pool sounds cool? Where your crypto is like swimming into the pool, and then whatever crypto that swims in the pool. I'm just joking. It's It's not a pool of liquid, it's just a pool of assets. And what are you doing? You're just lending your crypto and you're getting rewards. Again, or the or what is it? 61 IR, that is earned income. IRC 61, that is your anything you earn that you didn't have before, the fair market value when you earn it and you have possession of it in the crypto world, that is taxable right there and then. So so this is simple. I'm going to simplify this so then you can go in and make some money and pay the least amount of taxes legally, because what we're going to do, we're going to use the tax code to our advantage because we've done this so much. And now it's time for us to give back. So I want everyone to hang tight. Join us again next week. I'll get into the form 8949. I'll do the very first basic videos. I'll get into the 1040s. I'll tell you where to plug these things into your 1040 if you're doing this yourself. And again, I'll show you also the actual crypto accounting. If for those of you that are well versed and that like to do their own taxes, I'm going to show you the bells and whistles to all of this. So thank you so much. This is our chance to give back to this very wonderful country, from me, from my family, and everyone. And thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, one second. Am I still on the? No, I think I should be good. Thank you so much. And uh, one sec. Okay, no, thank you so much. And next week we